So today's video is about allowing the body to catch up with the mind and the spirit. A lot of the times we expect ourselves to change as quick as our mind changes, but remember, your mind changes every moment. You can have a shift in consciousness in a literal moment. Like right now, you can have a completely different perspective of life, of yourself, of your future, but the body doesn't work like that. The body is dense. The body holds energy, it holds emotions, it holds our past, it holds generational information. The body is very dense. Therefore, when we are genuinely shifting our consciousness, stepping into the next chapter of our life, letting go of bad habits of the past, letting go of a past perception of ourselves, you have to give yourself grace, patience, and time to allow the body to catch up to that mental shift. Also, no one talks about how crazy it is that everyone is addicted to ChatGPT now, and people are not even thinking for themselves. And any insight, any information, any answer that you want to your life, to your problems, to whatever you desire, is at the tips of your fingers at every single moment. The obsession with AI, artificial intelligence, I want to remind you guys of the importance of body intelligence, tuning in to this divine vessel that houses our consciousness. This is our vehicle that allows us to exist in this world and to actually do things. It doesn't matter how much access that you have to information, to wisdom, to insight, to the secrets of the universe. If you don't have a body to act on it, does that matter? So I want to first start off by saying that all change is first mental, then it's physical. So we have to give the body time to catch up with our consciousness, to catch up with the changes that we've had in our minds, with the insights that have been put into us, whether from ChatGPT, from a book, from God, from nature. We're constantly taking in all this information. And if you're someone that is more spiritually attuned and more open, everything is teaching you all the time. But it takes repetition for the body to integrate that insight. Because if you think about it, this might get a little deep. If you think about it, we're taking in information 24/7. As long as we're awake and conscious in this physical world, we're taking in information, whether it's from our thoughts, from what we see, from what we hear, from what we taste. Our senses are what take in information. If we became everything we took in, we would probably explode. Like, this is such a overwhelming world, especially nowadays with social media and all the information we have access to. It would be dangerous for our body to be on the same vibration as the mind and the spirit. There's a reason why the body is denser and why it takes longer for it to integrate things, because it's a form of protection. And I have an interesting analogy that just came to my mind. I feel like an onion is always very symbolic of the mind and the human experience with the layers of the onion. But if the onion didn't have the layers, it would just be like a flat little surface. It's the layers that build the onion itself, that make the onion a physical thing. That's the same thing with our body. It's the repetition of what we experience and what we go through in life and what we tell ourselves in our mind that builds our physical experience. I give you some grace on your journey, because sometimes we beat ourselves up for having the awareness, but then we're not doing it consistently. And this is what puts us in that cycle of like doing, and then we get ashamed or we mess up and then we go like 10 steps back. This pattern of not understanding that it takes time for everything to align. It takes messing up. It takes cycles and repetition for it to integrate and then for it to become a part of your life. Therefore, when you are stepping into a new version of yourself, when you're letting go of bad habits, when you're doing things you've never done before, give the body time to catch up to the awareness of the mind. It takes time. Keep doing what you need to do, mess up as many times as you need, make sure you have the mental clarity, you know the direction you're going in, and eventually the body will catch up. And once the body catches up to the consciousness, everything becomes divine alignment. You step into the flow of life. There is no more pushing or effort. It becomes a way of being, which is like one of the most beautiful things ever. It feels so good. And that's when God like really starts to speak to you and the synchronicities hit and everything just starts to align. But you have to be patient, consistent, and let time do its thing and let the body catch up with the mind and the spirit. Okay. Point number two. Number two is the fact that you can't mentally manipulate a body that's in survival or in a constant state of fight or flight. When we are in fight or flight all the time for most of our lives, especially people that come from trauma, come from consistent bad relationships, in survival mode, whether that's for money or for whatever, the body is never able to genuinely relax and feel safe. It can never recalibrate. It never has the space for everything to have that like system reset and for everything to catch up. The mind, the body, and the spirit cannot catch up when you are in fight or flight 24/7. Therefore, when you want to level up in your life, when you want to step into new ways of being, a new self-image, you have to allow yourself to have periods of rest, unshameful rest. It doesn't have to be for a week long. It doesn't have to be for even 2 days. Just 10 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day of just genuine relaxation. No phone, no TV, just sit outside in nature and breathe. Allow the body to catch up. Allow the body to feel safe enough to integrate all the information that you've been taking in and day out. You know how much profound realization can happen just through relaxation? But this world that we live in glorifies the hustle and the grind and the do. You can't override a body that's operating in survival mode. So many of us are just running. Even when we take moments to relax, we are still on our phone. We're binge watching something on TV. We're just trying to avoid the discomfort of being present, of allowing the body to integrate. Real integration happens in the parasympathetic nervous system, or rest and digest, or genuine relaxation. When we are genuinely relaxed, the body then feels safe. So everything that we have been layering on, running from, it doesn't all come up at once, but you can slowly begin to work on it. You can slowly begin to either consciously or unconsciously remove your blocks, see your blind spots, see where you self-sabotage, where you lie to yourself. It doesn't matter how much profound wisdom you have or what amazing things you experience in life, you will never be able to be fully present and enjoyed if you were in a state of survival, if you were in fight or flight. Therefore, it's so important to genuinely relax the body and go into the parasympathetic state and declutter the mind. Because it's in relaxation where the mind, the body, and the spirit, they come back into one. We integrate everything that's been going on all around us, all the stimulation of this world, all the drama of our life, all the amazing things of our life. When we relax, we integrate. Did you know when you go into deep sleep, your body is literally sorting through and storing memories? It's detoxing the brain, the body is healing. And point number 3 is about the fact that you shouldn't force physical change, because if you do, it'll most likely backfire, and then you have to clean the mess up, and it just takes longer. Let yourself be a human. Let yourself be a real freaking person that's not trying to put on a show for social media or for anything, for anyone. Just be a real human and allow yourself to go through the human experience, which is messy. There's ups, there's down, it's easy, it's hard, you run forward, you go backwards. Embrace the process, especially when you're changing and becoming a better version of yourself. For instance, in my own life, I've had maybe 2 or 3 very big changes in my consciousness this year that I really quickly wanted it to be in the physical world. I wanted my physical body to like catch up like this. And I found myself getting upset, getting irritated, beating up on myself. But then I realized, I was like, no, this is totally normal. It's totally okay. Let me be patient and enjoy all phases of my life. When I'm stepping into new planes of consciousness, I don't need to drag my body along with me. My body will catch up. I don't need to focus so much on the physical world. I need to focus on my state of mind and being very repetitive with the stories in my mind, and eventually my physical world and my physical body will catch up. To tie this all together, your brain is wired for comfort. Your brain doesn't really like change. And sometimes when we are stepping into a new level of our life, that change can seem very scary and threatening to the body and to the mind. But with time, as we repeat it mentally and we start to take some actions and take some steps and we kind of fail and then we go forward, with time, your body will realize this is safe. This is actually good for me to do. Your mind will agree with it, and then they catch up and they synchronize with each other, and then it becomes a way of life. Then things start to really speed up and the results start to just hit. But to get to that point, you have to be patient, and you can't beat yourself up, and you have to have compassion, and you have to understand the physical body and the physical world is so dense. We're not here to manipulate that part of it. We're here to manipulate this part of it. Very small excerpt from the Tao Te Ching. The path into the light seems dark. The path forward seems to go back, and the direct path seems long. This is such a simple, just 3 sentences, but it's a very beautiful reflection of the truth of this human experience and the walking contradiction and paradox that is life. So I want to remind you guys that there's no need to look for shortcuts. There's no need to force your physical world to change or your physical body to change. Just do the inner work. Just do the mental work constantly. Do what you need to do and do it well. Do it continuously. Do it with compassion. Do it with awareness. And eventually you'll get to where you need to go. There is no reason to rush or to force things. Trust the intelligence of your body, of your mind, and your spirit. And when you allow yourself to relax, to breathe, to be present, everything will align. Your life will make a lot of sense. Much love, many blessings.